Hey guys, how's it going? Dragox55 here again with another deck recipe. If you guys are wondering, this is my third deck recipe today, so trying to catch up on those deck recipes, you know? Better late than never, as I always say. Anyways, so next up, we got the Dark Magician deck, and basically, it just uses Dark Magician. It's got pretty good tech. It's not as good tech as it has nowadays, but you know, Yugioh MD has stuff. So I decided to go with a different route. After playing Legacy of the Duelist and playing against whatever his face is, who uses Dark Magicians and no, not Yugi, I've kind of liked his build, but I changed it up a little bit, so yeah. So let's take a look into what I did to make this deck better. It's still terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so we got 3 Dark Magicians. You know, why not play 3 since they're the main thing of the deck? Anyways, so the thing with it is that it's 2,500 attack and not really that good to just bring out by itself. So yeah, it really doesn't do anything but the tech helps out with it, so it's fine. Next up, you got a Blackluster Soldier Envoy the Beginning. Pretty powerful. I'm pretty sure I've gone over this 50 billion times by now. So I'm not going to really go into it. Banish a face, banish a monster, or you can attack twice if you destroy a monster. That's it. Dark Earned, because you play a lot of darks. Next up, we got 2 Dark Magician Knights. You use Knight's title to bring this out on a Dark Magician, and you can destroy 1 card on the field. And it's not too bad of an effect. Not really much to say about it. I mean, that's all that really kind of does. So, you know, but it's still nice. It's a free special summon into it, so. And you can combo into stuff like bring out that and then Birthright and whatever into the Dark Magician, so use whatever's. Next up we got 3 Elemental Prismas, usually the staple of any fusion deck, depending on what fusion deck you use. In this case, we're using it so we can get Dark Magician out, and we'll talk about how they get him out in a second here. Anyways, so the thing with the Dark Magician deck is you review 1 fusion, so we have 2 of them. Sorry I was adding stuff to this. So you reveal Paladin or Blur Knight, and then you can make this Dark Magician and its name, so you can use stuff like Knight's Title, you can use Dark Magic Attack, it's whatever you want to use, you know. So yeah, that's one of the great things about Prisma. It takes the name so you can use Dark Magician support. I think it's a must in this kind of deck, unless if you're trying a different build that we'll talk about in the side deck. So yeah. Basically make it take the name Dark Magician. Oh yeah, another thing. With these kind of decks, you mostly want to get your Dark Magician in the grave, because that's where you're going to mostly get the most use out of it, so yeah. Next up we got 3 King of the Swamps. It can be treated as a fusion material for a monster, and you can discard this card to add a polymerization. Real good effect, actually. I am having a hard time breathing here. Hold on. Whew. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyways, 1 Mirage Knight. It's there. It can only be brought out by Dark Flare Knight, and we'll talk about that in a little while. And I have to sit up. Cannot be used special summon by other ways. During the damage calculation, this card gains attack equal to the original attack of an opponent's monster is battling. So basically, it's honest in a monster form, and if this card attacked or was attacked, you banish it. So that's whatever. It does damage, that's all we care about. And then Dark Hex Seal. You substitute this for a fusion material, and then if it's on the field, you can basically use it as a polymerization. Only for a dark monster, though. So, you know. Next up, we got Feather Phoenix. You discard one, target one card in the grave, and return it to the top of your deck. So, in terms of that, we can get back Knight's title if you really want to use it. Get the dark magic tax, get the reinforcements, whatever's. Next up, we got the Dink Hole, or the Dark Hole. And basically destroys all monsters on the field. Dark magic tax is basically Heavy Storm if you have Dark Magician. Yeah, you can play deck without it, but it's really, really good. It's Harpy's Fire Duster, that's what it is. And then we have 2 Emergency Call, since we play 3 Elemental Hero Prismas. So I think it's really needed to search them out. Knight's Title, you tribute 1 face-up Dark Magician, and then you can bring out 1 Dark Magician Knight from hand, deck, or graveyard, so it's pretty good. So even if you want to dump these to the grave, you still can bring them out with this, so really nice. 2 MST, just in case if these 2 aren't in your hand and can't really get past the back row or something, or you're worried about it, so, you know. 3 Polymerization, because you run 3 King of the Swamp, there's really no reason why he wouldn't. And the Dark Magician fusions are actually pretty good. Well, one of them in my opinion, the other one's decent. Then we got 2 Pod Dualities. It basically lets you reveal, you know what it does? It lets you take a card. It's in everyone's deck by now. 1 Reinforcement of the Army lets you add a warrior type monster from your deck, which is really good. This one you could play Silent Doom or you could play Birthright. But Birthright lets you summon your monster and attack, so that's the only benefit. And this one lets you get normal monsters from the graveyard, so yeah. That's basically called a Haunted for normal monsters, so you know. Bottomless to get rid of those harder to get rid of monsters. 3 Call the Haunted to get back anything that hit the grave. Compulse to bounce something back. And 2 Mirror Force because Mirror Force is OP. It's really not, but destroys basically everything. So we're playing 1 Dark Flare Knight. I don't feel the need to have like 2 or 3. So anyways, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card, so if you attack or it gets attacked, you take no damage. And your opponent takes no damage. Oh no, actually we take no damage. Okay, I read that wrong. So your opponent does take damage if you attack with it. And yeah, when it's destroyed by battle, you special summon 1 Mirage Knight from your hand or deck. And you might be like, Flame Swordsman, how are we going to bring this out? So you just get King of the Swamp, or you get this, and not this, but this. And then you fusion up with Dark Magician to it. Next up we got 2 Dark Paladins. And basically you discard 1 spell. Discard 1 card to negate a spell card. And destroy it. This card must be face up on the field to resolve this effect, and it gains 500 for each dragon on the field, and in either player's graveyard. So if you're battling dragon rulers, this card helps a lot. Next up we got Absolute Zero. We'll talk about it more in the side deck, but you can switch this out for the Shining or Equestria. I think that's what their name is. So it's nice. And then we got Exceeds. The only ones you really need to care about are the Digesto, which lets you target a non-effective monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Or you can care about the Lavalval Chain, which lets you mill out a card or put a card on top of your deck. Those are the really only 2 Exceed monsters that I pretty much care about in this extra deck in terms of getting out Dark Magician. I mean, we got Mecha Phantom Beast, Dracossack, and number 11, Big Eye to let us basically XYZ with the Dark Magician or Dark Magician Knight with the Dark Arms if you want to. Right, so anyways, into the side deck. So these are basically, I usually use the side deck for extra stuff that I think would be helpful if you want to play this in a different kind of way. So the Secret Village of the Spellcasters, if you're more of a, I want pure spellcasters or something, and that's gonna sound really gross on the mic, sorry. But you can use the Magical Dimension spell card with spellcasters, and if you're just gonna go like straight spellcasters, I'm pretty sure I have a deck recipe already where you do it that way, so you know, you can look it up that. But yeah, you can use just spellcasters if you want. You don't have to use the fusion thing that I use, but you're probably gonna take out the Dark Magician Knight and Mirage Knight then, because they're not gonna really do much for you in that type of deck. Next up, we got a Silent Doom, and basically you target one normal monster and special summon it in face-up defense. See, that's what I was talking about. Birthright lets you summon an attack, but Silent Doom is a little quicker if you're needing it right away. But I don't use it in the main deck because I don't feel like it's needed too much. And then there's Miracle Fusion, or basically, because we have Absolute Zero here, Miracle Fusion, because if this hits the grave and then you're like, oh, I want a Miracle Fusion with King of the Swamp, or King Mirage Knight, or BLS, or whatever. That's why I recommend this. If you want to, you take out a polymerization, so it could be like 2 polys and a miracle, and then yeah, and you have Shining and as cardio. Oh, so you can use these two instead of Absolute Zero if you want to. And that was people entering my room because of reasons. Anyways, so yeah, Miracle Fusion and the other 2 fusion monsters. If you want to use as cardio, I think it's called. I don't know how to pronounce that now. I thought it was one thing, but whatever. So if you want to use the Absolute Zero, you can go ahead. It helps out a lot more. If you want to use this card, it's not too bad in this deck. I just don't feel the need to actually put it in there. And the Shining's pretty nice in this too, but as I said, I don't really feel the need to put this in there. Absolute Zero because you can clear monsters. That's basically the whole purpose of why I think this one's better than the other 2. And yeah. Whew. I feel like I've just been talking non-stop. So anyways, I definitely think this deck is really pretty good. Give or take some minor things that I can't think of right now. You could probably switch out a Pod Duality for a Lord Darkness if you really want to, but I didn't want to like banish. You know, I just wanted to try out a different kind of build because really, I mean, I think we've all seen the builds of Spellcaster, Breaker, the Magical Warrior, Skilled Dark Magician, Spell Counter it, until you get Dark Magician, yada yada yada. But if you're more into that type of deck, just look it up with my name. And you can pretty much find a Dark Magician build where it's Skilled Dark Magician and whatever. Like, that is one possibility if you want Dark Magician. But I like this build a little more than that because really you get more choices and it's not just one straight playing thing. So yeah, so make sure you guys let me know in the comment section what you think of this deck. Do you think, oh Drago, this deck is terrible, or you know, do you like it or something? I don't know. Oh boy, I have at least one more deck recipe to do that I know of, and then yeah, So, anyways, so make sure you leave your guys' requests in the deck, not the deck recipe, in the comment section down below, and I will be sure to try to get to it. Yeah. So, anyways, make sure you leave your requests, make sure you leave your comments. Please let me know what you think. And that's pretty much it. Like, I can't think of anything. I'll catch you guys next time. This is Dragox55 signing out. Catch you later.